Hello guys, so today I'm going to show you how to create a very basic query API using Ollama. So previously I showed you how to install Ollama on your local machine and how to configure and how to pull models from Ollama. So currently I can start by checking if I have Ollama. This is the Ollama that I installed last time on my machine, and the next thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to show the list of models that I have. So these are the models that I currently have on my machine. And what we're going to do today is we're going to just make sure that we check the setup or setup Ollama if it's not installed already. So this is what I just did. And the next thing is we're going to create and install this. We're going to create a virtual environment, and then we're going to install this. So this is the second step, and the third step is to uh, create a query API, and then we're going to run this query API, and then we're going to open it using Swagger UI. We're going to show the API using Swagger UI, and then we're going to test the API by checking what it can do and show the responses and test the routes that we've implemented. So this is the first thing that we're going to do. We're going to check for Ollama. So the first thing that I did is check for Ollama, which is this and this. So the next thing that we're going to do, right, if you have Conda installed, you can just create a Conda environment. Then we can, my environment is called AI simplified ENV. Then you can specify the Python version. So because I already created this, I'm not going to recreate it again. So I'm just going to activate this environment. Yeah. So let me just check the files that I have here. So I already created this and this to avoid wasting time re-implementing this. So the main goal of this video is just to show you how to set things up very properly, and then how to use a very basic Python script to create a fast API that you can use to query things or to input your questions, and then you get answers from the models that we installed in Ollama. So the first thing we need to do is to install the required libraries. So I'm going to show you the requirements that we need. So we have these 1, 2, 3 requirements. So we just need to install these 1, 2, 3 things. So what you can do is you can just use this. You can use this pip install because I already have them already, so it won't take time. Yeah, so this is because I already have these libraries installed already. But you can also use the requirement.txt file that I have, which is just install requirements.txt like this. Then you can just install the requirements from this file. So this is the second step, which is setting up the environment and making sure that everything is good to go. Now we need to check this to see how we can implement this query underscore API dot py. So to avoid wasting a lot of time on the implementation of this, I already implemented a very basic um, Python file. You can see that it's like 64 lines of code, and this is what we're going to do. And we're just going to go through this file to explain what it's doing and how it will work. So the first thing is we need to import the required libraries. Some of these we just installed them, so this is the first thing, is just importing all the libraries. Then we create a basic fastapi app. This is the first thing that this is the second thing that we need to do, and we need to set up the Ollama URL. So like I said in the previous video where I installed Ollama, you can actually check for Ollama on this URL. So we can just try to do this, because I already installed Ollama, so you can see that this Ollama is running, so it means everything is set correctly. Now the next thing is we need to just make sure that we create these data models. So we have two data models. The first one is for request, and the other one is for the response. So we just need to implement these. Now we need to make sure that we have the routes that we're going to use. So I'm going to implement two routes. The first one is the query route. This is the question route where you can input a question and then you get the answer from the model. And we have the second route is the models route. This is just going to list the list of models that are installed or that we pulled from Ollama that are already in the current Ollama storage. So this is the first thing, the query route. What we're going to do is we're going to make sure we prepare the payload. So this is just the Ollama payload. This is the request that we're going to give to Ollama. So the first thing that it's going to take is it's going to take the model. I'm going to input the name of the model. For example, we have a list of models here. So I can take this as the name of the model, and then I'm going to give it as part of the request. And then the prompt is the query that I'm going to give it. For example, I can say hello. I can also say what is Python. I can also say list 10 comedy movies, something like that, something very basic. And then we're going to set the stream to false, because this will not give us the real-time response where it inputs word per word as it responds. So we're going to set it to false, and then we're just going to get the complete response, and then we will feed back the complete response to our response body. So this is what we're going to do. So this is the Ollama URL that we just set, and then at the end we're going to get the result. So the result is just going to be a JSON response that we're going to get, and we're going to see the response and the model that we used in our response. So this is second route, which is the model. This is just going to list these models. These models. This is all what this route does. And we're going to use this server there. We're going to use UVCon to run our fastapi app. Then we're going to access it on port 80. 48,000. So this is all we need to do. And to view our app in Swagger UI, we need to use this URL to view the app in Swagger UI. So this is basically everything that we need to do to create an API. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back to this, and then I'm going to run this. So running this, we just need to do then do this. Now what we can do is we can open this, and we can try to open it here. So let's get the URL, this URL, and then we go to our browser, and then we do this, and then we're going to go back to this. We can see that our API is not working. So what we're going to do is we're going to start with this first, with this route, the models route, and we're going to try and get the models from Ollama. You can see it just responded with the list of models. So as you can see, we have this tiny llama, we have llama 3.2 latest, we have maestro latest, we have chain 1, we have qn 7p, all these, and some of these are embedding models. Yeah, so we can verify that these are correct by just going back to this list. You can see that these two lists, they are the same. You can see that these models are the models that I currently have on my machine. Now that this works, we can try to test this. So we can try to find a very small model to avoid the model from taking too long. So we can take this, and then we can input the model here. This is the model name. Then the query is going to be what is, so this is a very basic query, but it might take some time because my GPU, like I said, is not that great. So we can also, yeah, it's still running. So whilst it's doing that, we can also check what Ollama is running by using this command, Ollama PS. You can see that this is the model that I'm currently running this. So we just need to wait a little bit more to get a response. Okay, so this is the response that we just got, like I said, right? Our response is divided into two. We have the first one is the first key is the response, and then the second key is the model. So this is just what it just says. Python is a high level interpreted language, programming language, and then the rest goes on. So this is a very basic way that you can make an API using fastapi and run Ollama models that are local on your machine. Um, it's a very basic script. It's a very uh, simple process, so you can try it out and see if you can make up something like this. So with that being said, that is all we're going to show, and this is this is the same as what I just did here, but just using the curl command. So if you run this, it also gives you the same response. So this is just easier for people to see because it's visually better than using this. So so this is what I'm going to show you today, and that's and the video is over.